Okay, and we're back. So first up, we have a demonstration of all Raziel's little powers and things that we're going to be using in the game. Kind of a control demo, if you will. It's not all that interesting, and a lot of cutting from the Elder God.
These gates twist space, laying a path across great spans.
Just like that. So here I think I demonstrated a little bit. You step on it, it activates the gate. And by pressing X, you can actually cycle through the gates. And we don't have any of these, so it's entirely pointless for us to keep looking at this. So let's not do it anymore. Yay!
How's it going? No.
I love the ambient background noise too, it's so cool. Spectral Realm has some of the greatest sound.
It really freaks you out in the later levels.
Oh yeah. In the later games too.
You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire for blood.
You are changed. Your bloodthirst is replaced by a deeper need. You have become a devourer of souls. To sustain your strength, you must hunt the lost spirits of the underworld and consume the souls of your enemies.
Now this thing never made any sense to me. I can understand the blood fountains in Blood Omen, but I've never understood a rock that spits out human souls.
I would think that the Elder God just kind of keeps it around like a ready food supply.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Maybe he's like spinning them through the wheel to drop out the souls, but it's retarded. It doesn't make sense.
It's the buffet from hell.
Here we have the high jump. You use this a lot. Hold L and press A, jump high. It's great.
Your wings, though ruined, are not without purpose. Take hold of them as you leap, and they will carry you across this chasm.
And of course here we have another thing that doesn't make sense. Why is that gate there? Because you can't even reach it unless you do what you need to do, and once you've done it, it goes away. Okay.
What scabrous wretches are these?
Sua, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest.
Okay, so here we have our first enemy breakdown. These are the Slua. They're annoying as hell. Basically, they're everywhere in the Spectral Realm. Anytime you swift around, you'll see a lot of these little bastards. They eat souls. They have a health aura, which displays exactly how much health they have left. And as you hit them more, it decreases. And when they get really low, they run away like little bitches. And it's fucking annoying, and I hate them.
That's what annoys me more than anything else.
Yeah.
The fact that they run.
Especially right here. You'll see one's running. Now when one's running like this, don't even bother trying to auto-face it like it says. Just run around swinging your hands. It's way, way, way faster.
It's also hilarious.
Unintentionally hilarious.
Yes, but it's hilarious all the same to me. The sound for Raziel running is actually really well done. It sounds a lot clearer in the Dreamcast version than the PS1 version.
These portals are your conduit between the spectral and material realms. With their aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time.
So, spiritual conduits, these are pretty useful. You use a lot of them throughout the game. You can see the shifting of the world.
Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
Anyway, when you're shifting around, you'll see that the actual terrain changes, which is probably one of the most impressive things in this game. And doing so... Here, by the way, I'm kind of showing there's only a couple exits here. One's at gates. The place we came from was right over there to the right. It's now covered with a rock due to the shifting. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
You are young yet, Raziel. You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses. Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
What are these creatures?
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood?
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world of men.
Okay, new type enemy, which means new enemy
I
breakdown.
knew my opponent's weaknesses, having
in a
suffered them
second.
myself. Physical wounds are fleeting. Vampire's immortal flesh begins to close as soon as it is cleaved. Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid, and fledglings are devastated by sunlight's touch. I would have to modify my tactics to suit my foes.
Okay, now there's a breakdown. Anyway, these are the Dumahim. They're the most common enemy in the game. They're everywhere. They're really easy. They're not a big problem. They can restore souls when they get killed, which we'll show later. And the differences between adult and fledgling are really pointless and stupid, so who cares?
I didn't even know there was a difference.
Yeah, they're minor. Basically, the normal guys will hit you with the tongue you saw in the little video. And the bigger guys have an arm that's like morphed into a club. Whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
By the way, here you can see how big of a pain in the ass it is to get them on these environmental traps.
A creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm. Draw it in quickly, Raziel, or you will be compelled to follow.
Yeah, I always dunked him in the water or threw him in the sunlight.
Yeah, it's actually much easier to do that. The only reason I didn't was because you don't get a soul for the water. And I wanted to show off both the types of death here.
Gotcha. Actually, I
Anyway.
had a lot of fun grabbing the enemy and just carrying it into the sunlight.
I've done that before quite a few times. Fire has its own unique effects as well, which we'll get into
Your
later.
physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
So yeah, we can move the box. Thanks, squid guy.
It's pretty important. Pretty important a lot.
Well, considering it's like almost the entire game, yes.
So I think that short cutscene may have been warranted.
And another long hallway. These are used mostly to hide the streaming on the disc, in case you didn't know. Everything's connected by long hallways so that nothing needs to load, which makes the game a lot easier to play.
My God! The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged. In the instant between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began. Now it is nearly played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.